Look, leave me all on red, that's some cold. Then you hit me late at night, you some bold arrows, yeah. But you already know that, yeah. And I love it when you throw that, yeah. Shawty, where you sold at, baby, where you goes at.
Everybody, welcome back to today's video. This is my fourth time trying to record, but I think we're getting somewhere. Grab your drinks and your snacks. I have what's left of a spiked pink drink. It's a pink drink with no berries, and I add like the simply spiked peach lemonade or peach juice. I add that halfway, so I pour half of this out, put it in a cup for later, and fill half of it with the peach juice spiked simply lemonade. So good. But today I want to go over red flags. Yeah. Red flags in a relationship, in a man, in a boyfriend, in all of the things. Red flags to look out for. Number one red flag. If this man has him in his bio anywhere on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. I don't know if guys are on Facebook anymore. If he has him in his bio anywhere, he's a red flag. He is a red flag. He is the red flag. In fact, he's probably somehow surrounded with a community of red flags. It's just who he is. If he has him in his bio, he's not him. I promise. I promise. Just trust me. My second red flag would be a person who is somehow the victim in every story that they tell. Whether it be failed relationships, failed friendships, family dramas, ending of jobs, sports, any of the things. If he finds a way to make himself the victim all the time, he's a red flag. Run. Run, run, run. And I say that because this particular relationship that I just got out of, if you haven't watched my story time, I'll maybe put it here or I'll link it down below, but it's the finding out he cheated on Valentine's Day story time. And when we first got in our relationship, he had let it slip about like his previous relationships, and he told me that every single one of his relationships, which were like 6 or 7, I lost count, every single one of them, the girl had cheated on him. And, in the beginning, I was like, it's always the good guys. It's always the good guys getting cheated on 6, 7 times, like, goddamn. I don't know. I painted that flag green. I was like, oh, he's a good one. They always cheat on the good ones. No bullshit. Bullshit, because when I got out of this relationship, when I found out about the cheating the first time, I was texting all of his ex-girlfriends because that's who he was cheating with, by the way. All 6 of these previous relationships that he was cheated on, in every single one of them, yeah, he was still friends with these exes. I didn't know that, but he was still friends with these exes our entire relationship, and those are the girls that he was cheating with our entire relationship. Sending nudes to, sexting, planning trips, having sex, all of the things. Those were the girls he was doing it with. All 6 ex-girlfriends. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And then men have the audacity to question why we have problems with you being friends with your exes. Because you can't tell me, you can never sit here and tell me that there is any valid reason to be friends with your ex if there are no children involved. If there are no kids involved, there's no dog child involved, then what relationship you need with your ex? They are your ex for a reason. And as soon as you decide to pursue me and pursue a new person, what do you need your ex for? What friendship is there that you need? None. Not in my mind. I'm not friends with my exes. Guys, I'm a Leo. I'm not one of those people. Like, when I'm done with you, I'm done with you. Blocked. You can miss me with the bullshit. Like, I don't need to be friends with my exes, mainly because every single one of them is toxic. Yeah. And I think it's just, the harsh reality that a lot of broken people see your light. And like, when you have a healing spirit about you, you will just attract so many broken people that it's like it just becomes what you're used to. So like when you see things that are probably red flags to a lot of people, or like this seems like a lot of work, you're like, no, like just give them to me, give them enough time with me and I can heal them, and trust me, you will. You will, honey, but not at at a price you're worth paying, because I guarantee they're going to come to you. Everything, it's not going to be perfect, but they're going to come into this relationship and they're going to leave it a different person because of who you are and how you can love and who you have shown yourself to be, and the grace that you show and the compassion you have, the unjust unconditional forgiveness you have, your patience, your kindness. They're going to use all of those things as a benefit, and they're going to like soak up all of that energy, leave you nothing, leave you high and dry, broken, feeling broken because you've just went through like all of their traumas. You've spent so much time healing them, and then they leave you more broken than you ever were. You were in a good spot before this relationship. You told yourself, I'm never going to settle for anything less than what I deserve. No, because that previous relationship, that showed me. It showed me my worth. And so I'm not ever going to even deal with it again. And yet somehow we find ourselves in the same trajectory because we unintentionally and a lot of times subconsciously are picking the same kinds of guys over and over and over again. And we wonder why we're being heartbroken over and over again, because we are lowering our boundaries and our standards for the person that we like and for the people that we love and for the people that we see potential in. We lower our boundaries. And so instead of these people just betraying us or just not living up to who we thought they could be, it's because it's who we thought they could be. We fell in love with potential, not who they showed us they were, because you lowered your boundaries, you lowered your standards, and you let shit slide early on that you told yourself you never would. And so now you're sitting here looking at this person thinking they were everything you ever asked for, when in reality they weren't half of what you asked for. In the entire relationship, you were probably constantly asking for more out of them. And I don't mean from a financial perspective, but more time, more attention, and more priority. The three things most of us girls want: your attention, your priority. We want to be a priority, and we want your time. Spend solid time with us. Make time for us the way you make time for everything else in your life. That's all we ask for. Sorry guys, my apartment walls sometimes. Anyways, so yeah, guys, definitely be aware of anyone who makes themselves out to be the victim and the perfect person. Okay, the third red flag, I would say, and I know this is like a trending topic lately, his following. Not even his following, who he follows, the kinds of women that he entertains. Okay, let me not jump to conclusions. All of those people probably aren't being entertained by these men. But the likes that he is giving, it's like he had some weird kink for pick-me girls. Like that was his type or something, because like those were the ones who would be in the comments. And honestly, like those, it was just like, oh, the ick. But pay attention to who he follows. If it's all females, don't even bother, honey. Don't even bother. He's got a roster of about 150 women, I guarantee. His body count is higher than your expectations. It is, I promise. It's way higher. Trust. And I'm not even one of those, like body count girls, but at the same time, I do have some goddamn standards. I'm sorry. If you belong to the streets, stay there. Don't come to me with that bullshit, because no. I'm sorry. And I'm not sex shaming anybody. It's just who I am. It's the standard that I have for myself. If I'm not going to be out there like that, then I don't want a partner who is out there like that. And I'm not saying, like there's a certain number or anything, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. I think everybody has a number that they're comfortable with. And beyond that is like, okay, that's just a little too much. Like now I'm starting to think, you might belong to the city because you just give it out like it's free candy all, that's an ick, and that's a red flag to me. But I'm not gonna make that a point because controversy. But I would say, guys, my next red flag, I don't even want to say mama's boys. That sounds so harsh, guys. I don't want to say mama's boys, but if he's obsessed with his mom, that's a red flag. Because I'm sorry, every toxic relationship I've been in, there's been a correlation where these people are obsessed with their mom. And I'm not talking about like a healthy mom son relationship. Like, I am all for that, okay? I'm a daddy's girl. I love my dad. But I don't have an unhealthy, like, need to call him 5 times a day. Like, this man, it's like I would call him throughout the day, just would never answer, right? Would answer occasionally, or just would be like, I'm sorry, didn't miss your call. He would be over here anytime his mom called. He could be sleeping on the couch and he would wake up and answer that shit immediately. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry. If you are obsessed with your mom, you are a red flag. Okay, but I don't want to say mama's boys as a whole are a red flag, because I do think a lot of people, a lot of men who have such high respect for their moms will treat their partner very well. I do feel that with a lot of my heart. It's just when that line from respect and love and honor changes to obsessiveness, that's where we have an issue. And that's where you are a red flag, and no more. Keep the mama's boys just away from me, all the way away from me, okay? And don't even start with the ones who have daddy issues, and don't even start with the ones who have both, because I can't anymore. I can't deal with it. Stay away from me. Just let someone else heal you for once. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, my next red flag, and I'm sure a lot of people have different thoughts and feelings on this, but my next red flag is going to be a person who wants your location off rip. Like, as soon as you guys are in a solid, committed relationship, they want your location. And the reason I feel this is a red flag, because I don't feel like it is ever for safety purposes. And maybe I'm just too scarred and I've been traumatized too many times, but I genuinely don't feel like, if you barely know me, we're just now starting a relationship and you want my location, I feel like this is probably traumatized me talking, but I genuinely feel like they want your location so that they can cheat better. Yeah, that's what it is. They want to cheat better, okay? They want to watch you, not to make sure you're safe and you're okay. No, they want to watch you to make sure that they can do what they're doing and not have to worry. I don't know if that's just me, but I was one of those girls where, like, if we share a location, I'm not stalking it. Like, I'm not, you know? Okay, I might stalk it a little bit, but realistically, I was always working, so it's like, even if I stalk it, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I mean? And like, halfway through our relationship, I started like, it just like felt like a toxic thing to have his location, because I, would just find myself looking at it and just like, it just gave me like icky feelings. So I asked if we could stop sharing it, and I still shared mine, and this man stopped sharing his, and it was fine, whatever. But like a couple of months later, I realized, I was like, like, we're either going to share locations or we're not, but like, you're not going to have mine without me having yours. So if you want my location shared, like, you got to share yours back. And he like came up with so many excuses as to why. And he's like, well, you are the one who told me you don't want my location. And I'm like, yeah, I did. So what? I'm asking for it now. You have mine. Let's share. And I understand now it's because he was cheating and he didn't want me to know where he was. He was too busy picking up bitches and parking in parking lots, because how respectful of him, how gentlemanlike of him. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's a story for a different time. We can talk about all that in another video. But yeah, definitely a red flag for shit. What was the red flag I just gave? Oh yeah, location sharing too early on in the relationship, in my opinion, is a red flag. But like I said, to each their own. If you're saying it's for a safety thing, personally, my whole family has my location, my friends have my location, and that's just enough safety for me. I don't need my man to have it unless he's sharing it for the right reasons, and he wants it for the right reasons, okay? Because you know where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be at work, and I'm gonna be in my apartment, like always. He was the one always, God knows where. No location found constantly. Ugh. Anyways, guys, my next red flag is going to be the guy that has female best friend. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing any more of those. I'm not doing any more of those because I don't have a guy best friend. I have guy friends, yes, but I don't have a guy best friend. No. My best friends are girls. Guy friends, yeah, that's one thing. Okay? A guy having girlfriends, that's one thing. But if he has one girl best friend, just know it's going to cause so many problems in the relationship. I have not met one guy who had a girl best friend that didn't cause some fucking issues. Yeah, and his caused a lot of them. A pick me bitch is what she was, but let me be nice and respectful and kind for the internet. But yeah, a guy who has a girl best friend, red flag, run. 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 One who has multiple, oh, run even faster, because gosh, this one I couldn't even keep track. And I'm like, wow, you just really give the best friend title out just like that. But I found out he gave every title out like that. The girl best friend, the friends, he used that very loosely, okay, because all of his friends were being fucked by him. So gosh, I don't even know what girlfriend did I was that meaning I'm practically a wife at this point? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, if he has a singular girl best friend, like one girl best friend that he swears is his girl best friend, they grew up together. She's like family. She's like this. No, because I promise, not only is he in on it and she's in on it, his whole family is, especially the family friends. The family friends, his whole family has been rooting for them to be married since the day he came out. I guarantee, okay? So don't even. The family friend, girl best friend, run. Run really fast. Okay, guys, my next red flag is going to be a person who somehow you find yourself apologizing after every argument. If it takes you apologizing anytime there is disruption in the relationship for this person to feel satisfied, run. That is a gaslighter. I guarantee he is a gaslighter, okay? And what I mean by is, alrighty, guys, now there are like a million more red flags I could add to this video, but it would be like 45 minutes long, and these are the ones that really trigger me the most. I think my next red flag is going to be a person whose typical type is nothing that you are. Okay? If this man, all of his exes look the same, because usually they do, if they all have the same kind of vibe about them, if there's nothing that deciphers them from each other, you know, run. Please. You are not that man's type. And I hate to say it like that, guys. And I'm not talking about you guys that are married and like, you know, you're his first black girl, or you're his first Latina, or you're his first white girl. I'm not saying it like that. But if this is a pattern and every previous relationship has been with the same type of bitch and you look nothing like her, you're not his type, sweetie. I'm sorry, you're not his type. You're not his type. Like, I'd much rather have a man who has no type, as bad as that sounds, like, is open to any ethnicities and races and, you know, is attracted to a multitude of different kinds of women, because then I know, you know, at least you are open-minded, okay? But if you stick to like the same kind of girl, you're telling me that is what you prefer. And you being with me right now, I'm trying to figure out how it makes sense, because I'm not your type. And it made a lot more sense after I saw that he was cheating with all of the women that look nothing like me. And, you know, that's fine. It's not like it was a flex. But yeah, guys, pay attention to his type, or what his type previously was, because I can tell you, the best indicator of future behavior is past. Okay, and every single one of his relationships looked the same, that's probably what his future marriage is going to look like. Okay, it's probably going to be with a girl that looks nothing like you. But to each their own. But I'm going to pay attention to that shit, because I've been done wrong way too many times, and they always cheat with the girls that look nothing like you. And it's usually not in a good way either. It's like, you had a whole 10, but all right, what do I know? Alrighty, guys, and my final red flag for this video is going to be a person, how do I word this? A person that is incapable of giving what you give. A person who is unwilling to give and put in all of the energy and time that you put in, because I'm very much one of those where I respect matching the energy that's there. Okay, so if I'm only like texting you here and there, and I don't expect you to be blowing up my phone, right? Or if I, am never available for dates, I don't expect you to ask me on dates. But if I'm sitting here and I'm giving you my time and my intention, and I'm sitting here building with you, I'm spending money on you I don't have, I'm doing this, that, and the other. Like, if you're incapable of loving me the same, and I don't mean the material things, that's just an example of how much further I was willing to go for this person. But really take a long look at the things that they do for you, not only emotionally, physically, but the effort they put in financially. If you're the only one, like paying for dates or paying for presents when it's holiday season and birthdays, and you are always the one going the extra mile, he's not for you, sis. Because I promise you, there are so many guys out there who are willing to match your energy and then some. So when you are quite literally giving someone the world, there is someone out there who will give you the world back, and who will go out of their way to do so many things for you out of love for you. I'm not saying that that's the point, or that's like the goal we should be reaching for, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone out there who is willing to put in as much effort as you. So don't settle for the man who says he doesn't have time, who says he's got other priorities, who says he's trying to better himself in his career. That's fine. You can do that, but not with me too. You don't get to pick. You don't get to decide that you want to do all of these other things in life, but you have to sacrifice this part of your life. Like, no, then just let me go and find someone who's okay with being having half of you. You know what I mean? Because the way I see it, life is always going to be chaotic and busy and a fucking roller coaster. Okay, there's never going to be a time where we're sitting here just like free floating on earth, just time to kill. Okay, so I don't ever agree with the I have to do this and I have to do that and I've got to do this and I've got so many other things that I have to focus on. If that is the case, then you shouldn't be entertaining any females at all. You shouldn't be trying to be in a relationship with me, because what you're telling me right now is that everything in your life is a higher priority than me. And that's not going to fly with me, okay? Because when you're in my life, you are a top priority. I'm not saying he has to be the only priority, or he was the only priority, because he wasn't, but he was just as equal as all of the rest of the things. And I had made time for him the way I made time for everything else. And it wasn't even like having to make time, because truthfully, when I'm with somebody I love, there always is time for you. I don't have to make time. I don't have to rearrange my schedule. And if I do, like, fine, but it's because the time's yours. Okay? It's because I'm always going to have time for the people that I love, my friends, my family, my significant other. I will always have time for those people. So if someone tells you that they're unable to make time, or they make it clear that you are not a priority in their lives, walk away. Because you can be a priority in someone's life, and that you can meet some of the busiest people on earth, okay, who always find a way to show up for you and always find a way to make time for you and make you feel special. Like, always. Oh my gosh. So yeah, guys, those are my top red flags, but I don't want to make like a huge long video about this, especially because I'm nearing the end of my drink. And I know after I get past a certain level of, tipsy, my mouth is just like spewing things, and I have to be careful with what I post. Also, guys, you're gonna have to let me know, because I posted a very raw and real emotional stage of going through this breakup yesterday, and I haven't posted it because honestly, like, I was like having like a mini mental breakdown, and I'm not one of those people who likes to put my life out there like that. Maybe one day I'll post it. But if that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know, and I'll see if I can, I'll see. But I also want to make sure that I'm producing content that you guys like to watch and you enjoy watching. I know story time is probably like the biggest thing that's going to be on my channel, and I'm going to implement a story time playlist, and I'll do like, I don't know, story time Sundays, maybe Saturdays, and I'll consistently do a story time every week. So I will plan for that. I'm actually going to sit at my desk for a little bit, do my laptop, and plan out some content. But thank you guys for being here. I love you. We are so close to 1,000 already. It was literally like after Valentine's Day, guys, like 5 days after that, I gained like 550 subscribers. And obviously, I'm still very small, okay? But it just gives me hope for the future that one day we are going to be one big community. But yeah, guys, I love you. Thank you for stopping in. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and leave down below your top red flags in a relationship or in the dating scene.